From the city chambers here on the High Street in Edinburgh. As the Lord Provost of the city, it's my duty and honour to represent the city in its civic ceremonies and anniversaries. Today marks the 100th anniversary of the expansion of the city to include the borough of Leith and the Midlothian parishes of Cramond, Corstorphine, Colinton and Liberton. This happened as a result of the Edinburgh Boundaries Extension and Tramways Act of 1920. The boundary extension is important to our city's history, not only because it grew by a third in both size and population at the time, but because it also created the foundations of modern Edinburgh. From housing to leisure to transport, our city's evolution over the next 50 years was shaped by the vision of a greater Edinburgh that was expressed in the passage of the 1920 Act. That this was opposed by some, most notably in Leith. But today we must celebrate those areas that joined with Edinburgh, and we do so hearing their stories and recognising their contributions to the wider city. For as Councillor Harvey of the Central Leith Ward said on behalf of his fellow Leith councillors in the city chambers 100 years ago, an Act of Parliament may wipe out boundaries, but the merging of different interests will not be reached in a day. It can only be attained by recognising and paying deference to the characteristics of each other. Edinburgh has many strands to it. It is both Old Reiki and the Athens of the North, Scotland's capital and a global festival city. Some strands are well known and rightly famous around the world, but others are known only to us locals and expatriates. The importance of community history is that it keeps alive those lesser known strands and passes them from one generation to the next. Identifying as a Leither today is to inherit its history as a port. Living in the shadow of the tower houses of Cramond and Liberton or Craigmillar Castle is to be reminded of our medieval heritage, while those of us who use Hales Quarry Park or cross the River Almond tread daily next to our industrial past. Every street and community in this great city has a story that we, as residents, can learn of, add to and importantly pass on. The best thing about these stories is that they are not static. No community is defined by one moment in time. Our history is instead living and evolving. Fortunate to have both council services and a network of local history and community organisations that are dedicated to these community histories. It is to these that I have turned to when considering how to support the commemoration of the boundary extension. Thanks to them, a programme, ReDrawing Edinburgh, has been brought together to explain the importance and impact of the boundary extension and to celebrate the histories of each area. By necessity, this programme has moved online in this time of social distancing. A digital exhibition on capital collections has been launched this month to tell the story of the 1920 extension and the communities that joined the city. It showcases images not only from the Council's heritage collections, but also from partner community organisations in a true spirit of collaboration. Several local history videos have also been created and shared on the Council's social media channels for the City Archives, libraries and museums and galleries under the ReDrawing Edinburgh banner. New videos are planned for each month until spring next year. We'll see the launch of a physical exhibition in the Central Library on the same themes, showcasing objects and images from both council collections and partner community organisations. Beyond the summer, I hope that the collaboration between council services and community organisations continues in adding community history themes and content to the local fairs and festivals we go to as residents. 100 years ago, much was written and spoken about Greater Edinburgh, not only in terms of the ambitions of a modern metropolis, but also with the concerns of those rural and industrial communities who were joining the city. While change has inevitably happened to these communities, they still exist and thrive in their own ways, and it's important to recognise their contribution to Edinburgh's history. In recognising their contributions, we lay the groundwork for recognising the contributions of all the different communities of our fair city during its evolving story. This is what the ReDrawing Edinburgh programme is about, and I urge you, whether resident, expatriate or visitor, to follow its programme of content and activities. You can find out more on the Council's website by searching on it for 1920.